Hello and welcome to Modern Toy Fair. Today we ask the question, what's going on with Hasbro's distribution? I'm your host, Mr. Modern Toy Fair, and I am joined by the founder of the NEC Illuminati, the man. Oh, you're not the man. You're. Oh shit! I've already fucked this. You complimented me during OnlyFigs, and now I fucked it up. You are the founder of the NEC Illuminati, the delayer of shipments, the procrastinator of pre-orders, the YouTube wife, Mrs. Modern Toy Fair, Jarmar _games. But that's not all. I am also joined by the man Modern Toy Fair has full custody over, the man Optimus Prime popped and he refuses to stop, the Twilight Knight, the master of mech, the three-pump chump of taking this show off the rails, Nate.
Oh,
hello.
I'm just gonna cut that together and kayfabe it. Don't worry.
hello. You should cut it from another show and then like very badly edit it. Just like then we're all wearing something different.
And just like jump it.
How are you guys doing this week?
I am doing okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's better than bad. I'll give you that.
It is better than bad.
Yeah, but it's also pessimistic. You should just say I'm doing good. You don't want people to feel, sad.
I'm doing wonderful.
Well, man, that went from 0 to midnight real
See?
quick.
That made me smile. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Hide your own pain so other people can be happy. That's what it's about, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's... I'm not going into it. So
I'm just gonna point out that I may have to relinquish my title because in both shows that we've done tonight, Jarmar has been the one that took us off the rails almost immediately.
Yep.
That's
So
what happens when you take a week off.
OnlyFigs is going to be a short one because I don't have anything. And it'll be like 30 minutes. And then within 5 seconds, he's like, guys, Dragon Ball. Guys.
We got to talk about it.
We got to do DBZ talk.
If somebody talks about it, we got to talk about
Yeah.
it. Like, that's the rule. Somebody comes
Speaking
to
of
you
which, no,
and says, we got to talk about, it's like when Doc Brown comes to Marty at the end of the movie, we got to talk about Dragon Ball. Well, then we have to.
Yeah.
Fuck everything else
Facts.
and let's talk Dragon Ball.
I felt like it had some good engagement on that topic, and I'm sure people
definitely did.
will totally understand what we were referring to.
Absolutely.
Well, I've got some good news for you. We're not talking about Dragon Ball. We're talking about the fact that Hasbro still hasn't gotten their shit together of distribution. Like, don't be wrong. Pre-pandemic, their distribution was not great to begin with. But it seems like everyone else is back on track. The import companies are back to rolling things out regularly, aside from...
in Mayfec's cases, they're back to regularly delaying things.
Hey, you know what? I just had 3 things fucking charge and ship, so that's more...
When were they supposed to come out?
Well, technically... I'm pretty sure 2 of them were supposed to come out this month, and one of them was a reissue that was boom, as soon as they announced it, it was ready to ship. They're supposed to be. It was either this month or last month. One of the 2 they were supposed to, but they didn't get delayed by a lot. Because I think Gene was August, and they moved her to September, so it wasn't that big of a deal. It was really the beginning of September anyway. But yeah, so the only other company that really has not gotten their shit together is Mezco. But that's a whole other thing. But McFarlane is shipping out stuff before it even gets announced at this point. You've got, even like the AEW and Mattel WWE figures are still coming out like pretty regularly and in decent distribution. But Hasbro, so like they consistently have been giving themselves more leeway. They're like, hey, this is coming out a year, and then usually it shows up in 3 to 5 months. But then when it does show up, what happens is they only send partial orders to places. So like for the King in Black 2-pack for the Marvel Legends Venom and Null 2-pack, that Big Bad Toy Store got a partial order for. And they shipped that out, and everyone else is just stuck waiting, hoping they get a second order. And Entertainment Earth shipped to all of their distributors that they deal with, but didn't ship any of their pre-orders. Hell, they even went on their site and offered up super discounted damaged boxes. Didn't ship those either. So like,
wow,
they it's like, okay, well, did you give those to the the shops that you provide for or something. And then like even in stores, it feels like actually it's not even feels like that they're not shipping cohesive sets anymore. Like you aren't getting a wave. You're getting here's a case of 6 Wolverines. Here's a case of 6 fucking what cannonballs or fucking whatever is out. So it really seems like all over the place, and it just doesn't quite make sense why they can't seem to get things back on track.
The thing with the Marvel Legends is weird because I don't know if that's just a Target thing, because that's where I've noticed it the most.
Mm-hmm.
But that started all the way back with the super popular, never on clearance Eternals wave, and they were shipping whole cases of Druid. And as we know, Druid sucks, and the stores were just packed full with like 1 or 2 characters. So it was even starting back then. And I'm used to that on the e-tailer side. So the Entertainment Earth side, the Big Bad Toy Store, they will send casefuls of characters because some people, like especially army builders and stuff, they'll order full cases of that character. So on that aspect, I'm used to it. But seeing it in stores, this has been a weird one because normally we don't see that.
Yeah.
And then, you're right. We're not even seeing a full wave then. And especially with Marvel Legends, that's weird because the appeal there is to get them all so you can do the Build-A-Figure. Yeah. So it's all very, very odd. And Hasbro didn't have the best distribution anyway. And distribution is it's a blanket term because, Entertainment Earth is a distributor of Hasbro product to usually smaller retailers. So, they're getting them direct from Hasbro. So it's almost just like Hasbro itself is just not able to make things work out. And I wonder if it's because they've just become too big. Because you're right. You have a company like McFarlane who, I don't really know what kind of numbers those are selling. He claims it's the best-selling toy line of all time.
I mean, he's gotten the award.
Yeah. And, that's the thing, because, you look to McFarlane and you see almost an antithesis of what Hasbro does. They are announcing things almost every week. I mean, back when we used to do Modern Toy Fair News, it was a running joke. The first part of the show was McFarlane News. And that stuff is out within the month of it being announced. And a lot of times a lot quicker than that. So what are they doing different? Where is the holdup? Is it that Hasbro is announcing things too early? And I wonder about that too, because their hype machine is so far ahead of itself at this point that we now have pre-orders that are over a year old for Hasbro products. That's an import company level of situation there. And usually, I'm not going to say that those import companies are like made to order, but they do take those orders and adjust like the production runs based on that. And, what else will go through sell-through and things like that. So it's almost quicker to see a product, like I had just pre-ordered Frieza this week from Premium Bandai. And it's going to come out in
January, I think. January to March, was it?
Early spring. Yeah. Early spring of 2023. Meanwhile, I have G.I. Joe figures from Hasbro that I pre-ordered in October of last year that I don't have. That's a year for a store exclusive, first of all. Yeah, it's the Target exclusive run of figures. And then also, strangely enough, Target exclusive, the Galen Erso and Antok Merrick from Rogue One, the Black Series, just shipped, like a month ago. And those had previously been up for pre-order from July of 2021. And, it's on one hand, it's what am I trying to say here? There's one thing. It's one thing to announce it's going to be a year for it to come out and it shows up within 3 months, as they've also been doing. But it's another thing to be like, hey, this is going to be in the next 6 months, and
then
a year later, we're still waiting.
Yeah. I think you're kind of like in the right spot. Not you think the bigger a company is, the easier it should be because they're not like not getting money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know
Especially
money doesn't
considering how much they're
necessarily
charging.
solve. Yeah, but money doesn't necessarily like solve all issues. Like you can't just say, "All right, give them more money and things will go faster." But I just wonder if they're like we already said they already kind of have like a shaky distribution to begin with. But like the whole thing happened, the world changed, and I feel like maybe they just kind of got so behind on that end, like production and getting things out. But like marketing, they've probably had these licensing deals like in far advance that they still have to continue to keep going. So now they're just like completely outpacing. I don't think they could ever catch up at that point. You know what I mean? Unless
Not
they
about
just
taking
like
a break.
if they're just like, all right, look, we're not announcing anything, we're not doing it, but they have to continue to announce these because at the same time we're gonna be like, whoa, why haven't they said anything? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's kind
because
of
we're also used to that. We you know, like we'll be like, we haven't had anything to pre-order in a while.
right.
You know, like a friend of mine, friend of the show but old co-host Corey made the joke that Super 7 is in the business of selling NFTs because we're just buying the pictures of the toys at this point because we don't have anything.
Got some bad news for you. I can get those for free.
Right. But the analogy there is pretty spot on because right now we're just putting money down or we're entering credit card numbers for these things that a year later they don't exist. Yeah. So
they're gonna be worth
that's
so
the
much
thing that's
money.
Frustrating. Is are we even like, some of these things? Like I didn't even want the Antok Merrick and Galen Erso by the time I got it. Like I was done with Black Series by then. I was like, I don't want these. Like this has taken so long. Go away. Like, and I wonder if I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna feel that way about the GI Joe Classified, but it's been ridiculous. We've only gotten like 3 figures this year, 4 figures counting Crocmaster.
Oh shit!
This year, but I've got I don't know how many of them on pre-order. And they've got so many to announce for 2023.
That's kind of the problem I have with Mezco is, I at the end and tail end of last year, I kind of fell out of love with the line and decided to get rid of like almost all of them. But their pre-orders are so delayed and so far out to begin with. I've just got a backlog of stuff that I'm like, well, I can't cancel the stuff that's direct because that's got a deposit that's not refundable. And hell, and some of it's exclusives. I'm like, well, if nothing else, I'll be able to get my money back for those. And it's just like they show up or they charge and it's like, oh, yay, that's what I wanted to waste my money on this week kind of thing. And then the worst part is they charge and then they take like 3 weeks to ship it. So it's not even like it'll get here and I can try to get my money back in a timely fashion by like selling it to someone or parting it out. I have to wait until they decide to finally ship it. And I'm like, why don't you wait to ship until it's in your fucking hand instead of while it's still at the fucking gates at the ports. But yeah, it doesn't make sense while you have so many other companies that have kind of gotten back on track and are either or even doing better than they were previously, and this massive company just can't keep up with their own hype machine. And at this point, I don't even think they could take a break if they wanted to, because it's become so expected to get those fan first Fridays, and all those live streams and reveals constantly.
And we got PulseCon coming at the end of this month. So I mean, that's going to start this thing all over again. That's where I ordered those GI Joe figures with PulseCon last year.
Maybe that's the GI Joe announcement that they're finally shipping.
Maybe. I'm going to throw a slight curveball though. You didn't know this was planned, but
no, I did not.
There is one Hasbro line that doesn't seem to suffer all of these things, and it's something that you both don't pay attention to. But it is Transformers. Yeah. And Transformers is pretty much has been on a steady pace and has gotten the stuff out throughout the year. They might be off by a little bit, like maybe a month or two, but most of these things have been announced at the beginning of this year and are hitting the target dates that they were supposed to. And I mean by target dates, not the store target, but the intentional. In fact, all those Wrecker sets that I showed off a few weeks ago, none of these were supposed to be out until November, and I had them all in July or August, one of those.
Huh.
I think we solved it.
So, well, your line has to be Transformers, because apparently that's the only line that Hasbro is really reaping the benefits of.
I've got one more line for you.
Okay.
Fortnite. I mean, mostly because they don't do a lot of fanfare for it, but that shit just like the pictures come out and then they're like, boom, here it is, and it's already like showing up or shipping.
I think that has to do with whatever company that is.
Epic Games.
Yes, because I remember the Foosh Robo talking about how they weren't allowed to show any, like Jazzwares didn't seem to be allowed to show anything until right before they were available. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if that has affected Hasbro as well, that they can't announce things too far in advance. Which
doesn't make sense, because it's not like they're doing new characters. They're doing all these older characters, right. So it's not like they're going to spoil anything.
No, and you're still talking, development wise, you're still talking a year to 18 months out, so it's not like it can be too spoilery.
Yeah.
But still, I wonder if that's a clause. And it's interesting that you say that, because I did notice I saw a lot of new Hasbro Fortnite product in stores this week, stuff I had never seen before.
Did they have the red water guy?
I don't know.
Oh.
I know that they had gliders that came on cool display stands.
Okay.
And other closed boxes. I will look for a red guy.
Okay, because so I have Ripley, which is the normal version of him. There's an evil version that's red, and it just went up.
Okay.
It's in stock on Entertainment Earth, but if I can find it in store and save on shipping that's going to take 8 weeks to get here, then I will.
The store that I saw them at, I'll be at tomorrow. So
okay, yeah, let me know.
I'll check. Yeah.
What I was gonna say outside of like those lines and those like anomalies, I wanted to just kind of go off of what you were saying, Michael, of like, I get these pre-orders and then like, or I guess you too, Nate.
Yeah.
Like you don't really have the interest in it anymore. That could probably be where they may see the idea to slow down. I don't think that many people are canceling pre-orders, but I know I've done it. I feel like I'm just like the bad omen for the collecting, because as soon as I got into other lines outside of like Turtles, it just seems like everything went to shit.
Right, NECA was always shit, like... and then you started collecting Marvel Legends and import figures, and it all just went downhill. So we figured it out.
It might have been a coincidence with everything else that happened in the world, but it just seemed like, it sucks to collect right now. It really does. I know
it both sucks and doesn't suck, ironically, because it's like it's so much incredible stuff. We just don't have it.
Yeah, right. That's the sucky part. Is like now it's so many things that are like, I would get this, I would get that, which is why I've opened up some more things. But then it just becomes more of a hassle. And I know like buying something and just waiting for it to show up isn't really a hassle, but it really is, because now it makes me question. I mean, I'm doing it with Super 7 stuff. I'm like, dude, I don't know if I even want these anymore. Like, cancel. Like, it's just, it kind of sucks. But I wonder if Hasbro would actually start to see like a decline in interest, and then that would be like, okay, but they're so big that like, what would a decline in interest look like for Hasbro? Like, I don't think they would.
I think it would really come down to orders from e-retailers and big box stores would probably go down. Would be the only thing they'd see, because realistically, not a lot of people order from Pulse compared to other places. So I feel like they wouldn't see the numbers directly, except for from the orders from those other places going down.
Yeah, whatever affects their bottom line is ultimately going to be what they notice. And it's interesting because, a year ago or a little bit longer, I was pretty heavily into Marvel Legends, and now I'm not at all. And that was a case of burnout. It was just too much. It was just too much. Yeah. You were like, at that point, we were like, it was like 2 waves a month, and then exclusives and, retail exclusives and all that stuff. And it got to be so much I couldn't keep up. And then, I don't know what it is about toy collectors. We tend to not, or at least a lot of us don't tend to dabble or partially. Like once we're out, we're like, fuck it, I'm out on the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
100%. That's what happened with Me Super 7. NECA
Yeah.
revealed their fucking Kevin Eastman style Mirage Turtles. I'm like, that's what I want. And Super 7, all of them gone. Don't have a single one of them anymore. I got rid of them because I'm like,
Wow.
I don't need them. That's what I want. I want that and IDW stuff, and those were my substitutes for that, and I'm finally getting them. And I'm like, well, why do I want these ones that I had to drastically change to make them at least close to what I wanted?
Right.
I will say I was a little sad getting rid of Rocksteady and Bebop just because how big they were, but I'm really hoping that that third party company that's making the Samurai Turtles that just did a alligator headed hunter that's starting to ship out will do a rhino and a pig. So I have faith that I'll get some interpretation of them at some point.
Any update on the turtles?
Well,
I feel like I put my deposit down on one. I don't even know how to pull that website up again.
I think Leo. I thought Leo shipped, but Donnie, I think we just a few months ago, maybe 6 months ago, got to see the actual full painted prototypes.
I was in a second run for Leo, so
okay, that might be
it.
Went
then. Back up, so maybe that's what it is. So,
maybe did you pay in advance, or did you? Is it like a big bad toy store?
It did my card. I just put. I think it was $5 or something like that.
Okay. Well, I don't want to, put any bad juju out there, but if the way that they've
bad juju is coming,
if they if the way that they're doing the line currently is any indication, I don't know if they're going to be doing a second run of Leo. I don't even know if they're going to end up making the Donatello, because they still haven't done even prototypes for Mikey or Raph, but they've completely pivoted to the other animal characters that are a little more inconspicuous that they can make, like Leatherhead and like a Razar, and I think they showed off a Splinter or teased the Splinter. So I don't know. I think they're staying away from the turtles either till the heat dies down, or they may have to because there may have been a cease to desist.
I just wonder. Yeah, I mean that's a whole nother. We should do a show of how to get around a cease and desist.
Yeah, we'll talk about our legal expertise of all three of us with our degrees, and our certificates of when we pass the bar test to practice law.
I just put a disclaimer: we are not lawyers, but
I mean, I already have to put a disclaimer that we aren't toy experts, because if not, then if the video blows up, there'll be one person who'll be like, "You guys don't know anything. You should just tell people that you're stupid and you don't know anything, and that should just be the end of the episode, so people don't waste an hour of their life." And it's
I feel like we do that.
I mean, I feel like we do that indirectly just because we clearly don't know what we're talking about. We're just speculating.
We're conjecturing all over the place.
That's what this is all about. You're on
YouTube. YouTube is not the place to go for a well of information. This is the place for speculation.
Yeah, speculation all day. But I'm, the young collector who doesn't know anything outside of buying old Playmate figures.
And I'm the jaded collector who gets pissed and sells off lines every time that they do something I don't like.
And I buy all kinds of shit. Some of which I keep, some of which I don't. I was going through my Instagram last night and I was like, I don't have that anymore. Oh, that was cool. I remember that. I don't have it.
I've had to go back through my Instagram anytime someone wants to see a picture of something I had, because some of my Mezco stuff I had custom parts on that I took off because they were ones that I bought from Tony May and people who do really nice work, and I kept them just in case I was going to use them for something else. And then when I go to sell them, people are like, well, what's it look like on the figure? I'm like, I don't have that figure anymore, so let me find a fucking picture on Instagram where I took of it. Scroll for a mile, I'm like, here you go.
Yeah. So, kind of funny how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ultimately, I think they're messing with us a little bit.
You think it's all troll?
I don't think it's all troll, but I feel like they're in such a good place right now where they're like, hey, we can announce this stuff. They'll pre-order it either same day or the next day for a year or 2 years down the road, and we'll just keep stringing them along year after year after year until they,
But the only
and
person
then
they're really hurting are the retailer
Yeah.
side of things, because at the end of the day, we aren't giving them our money directly. Because even if you do Pulse, it
Nope.
doesn't. You don't pay until you ship. So
Nope.
realistically, all you're doing is causing these people to like put in orders like, oh, Big Bad Toys is like, oh shit, we need 100 of these, and then 20, 30 people decide, oh, I don't want this anymore, and now they're stuck with that many extras. So like they're not hurting us, and they're not hurting themselves. They're hurting the middleman who fucking pushes their drugs.
Just the
why did
machines.
the machines put us in the Matrix?
Oh, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the machine just can't stop. It's just like they can't stop.
Well, it's feeding off. It's literally feeding off us, like in
we're
the
batteries.
Matrix, and they just keep dangling that thread. That, hey, look at this Black Series. Oh, isn't this amazing? This is going to be available in a year and a half, and you're like, oh,
yeah, I'll get that.
What's next, Daddy Hasbro? What's next?
Here's my
That's
card.
all we want. Yeah,
Here's
that's
my
all
card.
we care about.
The funny thing is, so for whatever reason, Europe has been starting to get some of the stuff early, like the individual release, which never happened in the past. It almost was always opposite. So I've been like gauging, like, okay, so they get then this is when I got it, so it's usually like a month and a half. Well, like I saw some people getting the Retro Scorpion in, and that was like almost 2 months ago, and I'm like, bitch, where's mine? Usually it's only like a month to like 6 weeks, and I'm still over here waiting. And I'm still, the only one I care about is Beast. Like that one I'm so excited for. But yeah, it's just all over the place. Like they can't seem to figure out what they're doing. Like, I don't know if maybe it's did they change factories? Did they not change factories, and the factory that they're using is just not doing so great?
Well, I think I remember hearing, and again, I don't know, but I thought I remembered hearing that they were moving more and more manufacturing to Vietnam.
A lot of places were doing that because China is looking to get out of the manufacturing business, because they don't want to be looked at as everyone's workhorse anymore. So that wasn't necessarily just a Hasbro thing. That was like a manufacturing.
No. I know,
board, yeah.
But I know specifically Hasbro has been moving a lot of their stuff out of China ahead of things. I know a lot of places are still using factories in China. Funko was one of the first ones I know to use Vietnam, but I know Hasbro has done that, and I don't know if that is affecting things or if that's helping things on the European side in order to get things to them faster. Because I'm noticing that with Vintage Collection, like people in Europe have all the stuff that we don't have for the next 2 months, and they've had it already, and it's old news to them.
That's fair.
That
so maybe
sense.
we solved it again. It's just that they switched manufacturing, and they never expressed that to any of us.
And that's fact, not speculation.
That's right. I do wish they would be a little bit more transparent about that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. They'll put up a lot of very big corporate answers. Supply chain.
They'll hit the greatest hits that everyone's used for the past 3 years.
Yeah. Right. And they just kind of keep hammering on that, and it's like, well, okay, we get that, but
something else.
If Todd can get this working, what's he doing that you guys aren't?
I think he just has a 3D printer, and he's just making all the figures.
Todd just works 24/7 in the office. He does Instagram live videos, and then he goes and prints figures. That's all he does all day.
Yep.
But maybe that's something that could potentially help. And this is, going to like their whole thing of the 3D face printing thing. Like maybe this partnership they have helps them increase output and turnaround time. Maybe they're investing into the millions of 3D printers that they're gonna, try and make figure parts faster or something. I don't know, but maybe that could help them in the future. I'm just trying to have a positive outlook before we end the show and say, Hasbro, you
a positive aspect. I mean, because I do try to I don't want to be a Hasbro apologist, but I also do understand certain business
Yeah.
aspects. But it's just with this one, it's weird, and I really just, when it gets right down to it, I just wish they would be a little bit more transparent.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Transparency. I don't understand why no company. Maybe I should run a company and then I'll probably not be transparent. But I just don't get why companies just refuse to be transparent, especially with collectors. We're buying plastic toys. We know what we're doing. We know it's not at the end of the world. Like, you could be honest with us. There's always going to be people who are going to be upset.
You say that,
but, like,
have you been on the internet? Collectors
well,
are
that's
true
not
too.
the most
you're
generous
gonna
of
get
kindness.
that regardless. You're gonna get that regardless. Whether Hasbro was killing it, there's still gonna be people who will be like, "Why are they not making
That's
this
true.
favorite thing in my line?" Like, so you're gonna get that regardless. So just be transparent, and like most people who are understanding will be like, "Okay, that's cool. I'm not gonna cancel it. I know that it's coming X, Y, Z." Which I think like NECA tried to do for a little while with their calendar things and being like, "This is when we expect it," and then that just went out the window. So like that's all we kind of really want to know. We just want to know that we didn't just give you money and we don't know what's happening. That's all.
Yeah, don't become Loot Crate.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Next thing you know, Hasbro's going to be giving us one figure a year just to appease us, so we will forget for another 6 months until they're ready to ship the next one.
Don't we have something around here? Here, just take this, okay?
Like,
take
here,
this and
let's
leave
send
us
them
alone.
this month's loot socks.
I was really hoping I had my hat, but I don't.
I have mine, but if I pull it down, I'm going to knock down this mutated shredder.
So,
oh no, wait, here it is.
Morphed shredder. There we go.
Fun story about the hat. So granted, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, so the website's down. But that's gonna be the thumbnails. You with the NECA Illuminati hat, but it's a Hasbro episode. What was I say? Yeah. So I'm trying to get us into New York Toy Fair, and I had this stupid idea, but I think it'd be hilarious if we all wore we got NECA Illuminati shirts. We all wore the hat, and we all wore the fanny pack.
Oh, yeah. Hells yeah. And we get a picture with Randy.
Yep.
We got to get him a NECA Illuminati shirt, though.
Yeah.
But we can't give him context because I feel like that the NECA Illuminati is not a good thing for him. So we just have to hope that he never watches the show and that none of us slip up and give him context about what the NECA Illuminati is. How
fucking crazy would it be if he posts a picture of the
right, he's got the shirt on and
he doesn't get it at all.
I feel like a dick at that point.
Yeah. I mean, it was all a good fun. We were only angry because we love what they make. That's all.
It was before I got here, so.
Like, it wasn't me.
It's like they just made me wear this shirt, man. That was the stipulation for me to be able to come.
Yeah. Yep. And I can only come if I wear this hat.
Is that what that is? That's not.
Oh, I thought it was. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Well, yeah, because I just realized mine doesn't have that.
But doesn't have what? That power?
No, the drool.
Oh.
Oh man, well now I have to mark this one for the ads that it has some sexual content. But now they make us go through and like mark like things for the ads so they can better match advertisers. So that way, if you have something that's offensive, advertisers don't get upset that their ads were put on it.
Oh, okay, so we can get a Hims ad on ours.
I mean, we just need to reach out to them and get them to fucking...
What's the new one? Blue Chew? Is that a
Blue Chew?
I heard that on a podcast once.
Blue Chew was really big with wrestling podcasts for a very long time.
Okay.
I bet.
My Facebook was really heavy into that for a while. Now it's like been all lingerie, which I'm not mad about, but it's like, all right. And then now it's kind of like went over to like nerdy, but like sexy outfits. Like there was like this Hellraiser baby doll dress, and I was like, I don't know that I'm the target for this, but
they saw your Boma statues and they're like, oh, you're the target for this.
I bet that's very comfortable.
Yeah,
so, I don't know. Most of that stuff usually probably isn't comfortable.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know what a baby doll dress is. I thought it was like a moo-moo, like a.
No, I'm thinking it's gonna remind you a little bit of Kill la Kill.
It's more of a form fitting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So maybe
Yeah.
not comfortable.
Yeah, probably not comfortable
Yeah.
at all. That's why they usually please take it off. But yeah, well, you know, we're gonna have to reach out to like Manscaped, Hims,
Or
fucking
Squatch.
Yeah.
Squatch. What is it?
Squatch. Yeah, we
Dr.
did
Squatch,
a fucking
yeah.
free
Dr.
ad
Squatch.
for them during
We did a
OnlyFigs.
commercial for Dr. Squatch.
What's
Is
the
this
other
a
one?
meeting or are we still recording?
Oh, we're still recording. We'll have to blur that out. No more free advertisement. But yeah, I mean, let us know in the comments below. What do you think's causing the
Smells
distribution
like
problems?
a ton of men.
And woman. Ray.
No, it's still a men's. Well, it's I guess it could be unisex,
You
but
said
it's
it was
generally,
a room full of candles.
Yeah, it
Men
still
like
smells.
candles?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Men's
generally men don't
natural
walk around
smoke.
smelling like candles.
I will.
I mean, you will.
They
but
don't have Dr. Squatch. I don't know.
I'm
if
gonna have to
it's
cut this out.
Squatch's-
We are not giving them any more free advertisement. Let's know in the comments
But
below what you think about the distribution problems with Hasbro, what you think's causing them, if they're upsetting you, if they've made you question your collection. Let us know if you buy Squatch soaps and if they should give us some ads. As always, please make sure to like and subscribe. It helps us out here on the channel and gets you all sorts of fun toy-related content, whether it's us just rambling every week, Toy Therapy, Smash or Pass, Woke or Nope, Top 10 lists, Let's Pose videos, the reviews, all sorts of stuff, plus the reruns of all of our weekly purchases over on OnlyFigs on twitch.tv/Modern Toy Fair. If you want to join, though, and be part of the conversation, make sure to check us out live every Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern time ish. And make sure you can check out Jarmar over on any podcast platform with his Why You're a Gamer podcast, where he talks to people about why they play video games, along with, I'm going to let you take this one because I don't know what it is, gaming TikTok.
It's metal.tv. You download the app on your phone. It is the game version of TikTok. You can just endlessly scroll through cool. Dang, they paid me $100 to read this ad. And
Excuse you.
It's a joke. Anyways, but
That's
yeah, you
3
can
ways,
follow
buddy.
me on just it's Jamar Games, as I'm not normally live on Twitch because I don't have an Ethernet cable to go down here. I'm making excuses. It doesn't matter. But all of the great clips that we
for
have.
my fucking Ether cable.
Well, it's anyways, yeah, I have already a bunch of clips over there. Just give me a follow and see if you enjoy them. It's pretty fun. It's metal.tv, like metal, like an award, not
Okay, I was gonna ask you to
T?
clarify because I forgot to
Yeah,
do that
it's
during
metal.
OnlyFigs,
Yeah,
and I was like, "Is it
metal.
metal?" Like, yeah, let's fucking go.
Oh, it's like, look at my medal, because I always, yeah. But yeah, just Jamar Games is the name, GAMES, and I have some pretty great clips.
No
And it might look like I'm an amazing Apex player, but I'm not. So don't try and get.
And you know
hard.
what? Soon enough, you'll be able to watch how unamazing we are live once I get some equipment and we start streaming. Nate, what do you got for us this week?
We got a new podcast that's launching next week. It's called Soap Me Up Daddy, where me and Jarmar, who are both fathers, that's where we get the name from, we actually will use different soaps and we'll review them. Sometimes we use them on each other. Sometimes we use them solo. It's up to you. But you have to get the Patreon if you want the other version. So
Yeah, that's very fair.
I'm just glad that they weren't children's soaps.
no,
Since
so be a
the
daddy.
gimmick is that you're dad, so
yeah, no, we're dads to talk about
get
soap.
you some No More Tears soap.
No.
Why doesn't
Thank
everyone have? Why is it No More Tears just in everything? Like, why do we have to have soap burn our eyes? Why is that just for children? I don't know. That's just something. Let me know
Punishment
in
for your
the comments
sins.
why.
Is that what it
Why-
is?
It's, yeah.
Interesting.
It's cleansing your sins of all the things you've looked at that day that you probably shouldn't have.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
fair. That's fair.
That explains it.
Hopefully we'll see you next week. Same toy time, same Toy Fair channel. Thank you for watching.
May the foam be with you.
What phone?
Foam.
Oh,
May the foam be
like
with
foam
you.
like from the soap, like you
Star Wars
lather
soap?
up in the foam.
Oh,
I just gave them amazing deal. That was
You
just
did,
that was
and I
amazing.
just I
May
fucked it
the
up.
foam be with you.
Okay. I mean, his defense, it did sound like you say foam.